So I wanted to pop on and tell you about this incredible conversation I had yesterday. Now, when I got on the call, I really thought that on the surface, I would not have as much in common with the person who was sitting across from me as I actually did. You see, culturally, we were very different, and it's very apparent. She was an Asian Oriental descent woman, and I, of course, am a Black American woman. And so when we got on the call and we started to talk about her transition, I wasn't really sure if we would be able to make that chemistry connection, but we did. We were able to make it because it wasn't the superficial things that we had in common. It was the deeper things that you have to contend with when you're making the pivot from corporate to entrepreneur. Now, she is at the beginning of her transition. Her position had been downsized, and so she was thrusted into the space where you now have this overwhelming power of choice that can really send you over the edge. You see, one of the things about corporate is it becomes very routine and comfortable. You know what to expect, you know how to show up, you know what to do in order to drive the success that you're accountable for. But when you make the pivot, or even when you're thrusted into transition, you are put into a space where everything that you used to know and that used to work are no longer the levers that need to be pulled. And that can create such discomfort. Now, the reason why I was encouraged to talk about my conversation with her is because in the midst of our conversation, we probably were about 3/4 in, she said something to me. She said, "I can tell you know what you're talking about." And I want to tell you, her having that revelation did not come from me having a checklist of things that she needs to consider with this corporate to entrepreneur move. It didn't come from me understanding tasks or tools or even tactics. It actually came from something way deeper. And this is the thing that I find a lot of women struggle with when they know they have been called into entrepreneurship and they are afraid to make the pivot. You see, I was able to describe almost word for word the shift she was feeling, the internal tension that was happening within her. It's intentional because you're so used to coming in knowing exactly what you need to do. But the tension comes because you now have to begin to understand a new normal. And this is where she and I were the same. You see, the discomfort of outgrowing your success, it is accompanied by this quiet awareness that who she's been can't carry her into her next. And that can be overwhelming, especially when you're thrusted into it unsuspectingly and not at your own control. More importantly, though, I was able to articulate something that no one up until that point was able to bring clearly to her, and that is who she needs to become now. Now that you're in transition, now that you've made a decision to do it, now that you're standing at the starting line ready to step, there are certain perspectives that you have to take into consideration in the pivot, in the shift, to move through that transition with clarity and authority. You see, one of the things that often happens is we don't know how to reframe our authority. We don't know what to do now with all of the power that made us successful in our career. And so when we pivot, we feel out of sorts. That connection that I was able to make with her, it built trust. It made her desire to talk with me again. It made her understand that there was someone who had gone before and understands the journey that she is about to make. And that is a game changer. You see, it wasn't about answers and it wasn't about framework. It was about being seen and understood. And here's what I've learned from working with women in transition. Most women in transition do not need more information. We know how to get information. In fact, getting information is a hallmark of our success. We've been able to do it and drive results with our responsibility. So we don't need more information. What we do need is language for what you're already experiencing in the shift, and guidance that respects the depth of your leadership and understands what it means to be at the helm of responsibility and find yourself pivoting to something that does not look or feel the same way it used to. That's the work that I get to do. I get to help not only women with the task and the tactics and the things that have to be done to stand up their business. I get to help them become who they need to be in order to lead in this new space. And for that, we don't start all over. We reframe your authority so that you understand how to execute where you are. And this is the reason why Corporate to Entrepreneur Live is an incredible experience. You see, the thing is, you don't have to show up wondering if the person who is going to take you through it will understand and be able to articulate what you're experiencing and feeling. I put that on display before you get there. I know exactly what that walk is all about. I know exactly what that feeling of uneasiness is. And on top of that, I know how to help you get through it. Having someone that you can trust guide you through from experience, from practical work that's already being done with others, accelerates your success. But it also ensures that you can land your trust in a place that is going to help you get where you're trying to go. And so this is why I want to invite you into the room. Corporate to Entrepreneur Live is not about giving you checklists. It's about helping you recognize the shift that you are already in. It's already unfolding. You're already becoming. And before you put the brakes on it because it feels so uncertain to you, I want to invite you into a safe space, a strategic space where you will be seen. Yes, you're going to get the things that your business actually needs in order to be profitable and to be fitting to you. But at the same time, you're going to be understood through the process of what's happening to you as a person. And so here's my personal invitation to you to join me at Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. I am so grateful that I had that conversation on yesterday because I was able to see that corporate women are the exact group that experience what I'm talking about regardless of cultural backgrounds. And that excited me. Because we are in the season of the rise of the woman, baby. And I want to be here to help you get all that God has promised for you as you pivot to make more impact and income. And if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, if this sounds like something that resonates with you, this invitation is for you to get in the room. Now, it's very simple. Go to c2e.live. You can get all the information of what this experience is all about. And I want to invite you to not just come by yourself, but to get a friend, get your business bestie, your corporate girlfriend, and bring her into the space with you, because transformation gets easier when you do it with someone else. And so this is an invitation for you to join me at Corporate to Entrepreneur Live in April. I am so excited about the experience, and I want to say that this room is open to all. If you feel connected to what I've been sharing, this is the time for you to be responsive to what you sense and join me in the room.